Welcome back to Defenders of the Last Stand, a very long playthrough series on my channel. It's been going on for months. We're getting close to the end. We only have 2 leaders left to take down. We have Bramble at 2 health to get rid of, and Krank right here with Frank. 2 health, we also need to get rid of him. Alright, it's Midnight Pearl's turn. She's sitting right here in Last Stand. A couple of techie mobs that have moved in there, they will probably be eliminated shortly. So let's take a look at Midnight Pearl's cards. She's got... and we're looking specifically at the Krank cards this time. So she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She can roll 6 dice against Krank. And I think we're going to be cranking it up and we're going to try and take him out. Alright, let's take a look at Midnight Pearl's area. All her items, artifacts, and special abilities and things. And then we're going to have her start taking her 7 turns. And by 7 turns, of course, I mean 7 actions. She doesn't get 7 turns. Alright, so Jinx is going to refresh at the start of her turn. Jinx is going to be able to be used to give a +1 on an attack or on a combat, which we're going to use against Krank, because that will then make Krank a 2+ to hit. He only has 2 health left, and that's pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. So she's got Supply Run, probably not going to get to this. Sabotage Camps. She does have a cross-gun symbol, which is freaking amazing. She can go right into Krank's area, knock him down 1 health with an action, and then all we need to do is hit him 1 time and Krank will be no more. She has high octane fuel. She can move 3 spaces using motorcycle cards instead of just 2, and then you have to roll a die. On a 1 you lose this. She has a backpack, which means instead of having 12 cards total, she can hold 14. We don't really need that at the moment. She's got a toolkit. If she ever makes a tech check, she can reroll all failed dice. Haven't really seen that happen. It usually happens on the special adventure missions, which is one right here at the old mine. And she has deadly blades. She gets to roll an extra die while attacking raiders. And yeah, so that's probably what she's going to be doing first off. So I don't think there's anything too much else to talk about her. We've looked at her many times. Let's go back to the board and have her start taking her actions. Alright, for her first action, she's going to just do a little bit of a cleanup here at Last Stand. We need to roll against the techie mob. There's 2 of them in there. She's going to be rolling, of course, 3 dice because she has Deadly Blade. She gets that bonus die. We need a 3+ to take them out. So let's see what Midnight Pearl can do for her first action, attacking the techie mob. And yeah, she gets a 6 and a 4 and a 2. Not 2 hits. That's enough to clean up Last Stand for her first action. And then for her second action, does she have a motorcycle card? Do we want to use it? Well, do we want to use a Bramble motorcycle card? I don't think we want to use any of her cards because they are all useful as far as attacking Krank and attacking Bramble. So we're just going to go ahead and she's going to do 2 actions then. 1 to get to Auntie's Saloon and 2 to get right here with Krank at Liberty Tunnel. And Krank doesn't even have any minions with him, so that is absolutely awesome. Alright, we're going to readjust the camera. We're going to get doing some more actions. So of course the first thing she's going to do is sabotage Krank's camps. She can use 1 cross-gun symbol card, which she's going to burn the Bramble card to do that. I know that's a less die against Bramble. But by sabotaging Krank, we're knocking him from 2 health down to 1 health. He has a measly 1 health. And now it's the moment of truth. We're going to spend another action. That's her 5th action. We're going to go ahead and attack Krank outright. So we're going to have both of our rangers are there, and this is Frank's cards. Frank has 2 dice, which he's going to use to roll against Krank. So Frank's going to get 2 dice. I'm just going to get this all set up. And then we have to look at Krank himself. So 2 dice for Frank. I'll just put the dice beside him. And as I had mentioned, Midnight Pearl's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she's going to use all of her Krank cards. We are not going to lose this one. I mean, we don't need to use all of them, maybe. Maybe she just wants to roll 5 dice. I think she's going to keep 1 motorcycle Krank card. So she's going to use the rest, which is going to end up being 2, 4, 5 dice for Midnight Pearl. That's going to give us a total of 7 dice. We only need to hit them 1 time. I'm going to kick myself now if we need that one extra die. So Midnight Pearl's going to be rolling 5 dice. Frank's going to be rolling 2 dice. Let's go over to Krank's area now because we've got a lot of stuff we need to look at. And when it comes to attacking Krank, he's sitting at 1 health. Alright, well what do we do with Krank? Combat. Ancient tech, each time techies overrun. So we've known about this getting his tech cards. So basically what we're doing for Krank is he's got a whole mitt full of ancient tech cards. So these are all going to buff him for the fight. He's sitting at 1 health. We're going to take a look at each one of these cards because they're going to do bad things against our Rangers and good things for Krank. And he's got some cool clothes. Offer Krank no special ability, they just look good. Alright, so one of these tech cards is just kind of does nothing, so that's good. Sheeny and Chrome, Krank's to hit number is increased to 4+. Well, damn, I guess it's gonna get knocked down to 3+ because we're gonna end up using Jinx. So, that kind of got rid of our advantage there. Machine Heads. If Krank is not slain when attacked, he heals an additional D3 wounds. I'm pretty sure we're taking him out, but we've got to keep that in mind. What's mine is yours. Before combat, each ranger must first roll a D6. No! 1, nothing happens. 2 to 4, lose a random defender card and suffer a wound, or lose 1 random defender card, suffer 2 wounds. Damn it! Okay, we got to do that. I'll put that aside. Youth will rise again. If Krank is not defeated when attacked, advance in 1 location. Okay, that's an after effect if he does not get defeated. Brass Buckle offers Krank no special ability, it's just ugly. Alright, so he's got some cool clothes, a Brass Buckle, and now we have some nasty business to take care of. We have to roll this, and now we probably should have used all of Midnight Pearl's cards, but we didn't. Oh boy. Alright, let's get to the main board here. We're going to be rolling a D6 for Frank and a D6 for Midnight Pearl, and we're going to see what happens. Alright, so long shotty here. We're just going to get out the dice tray. We're going to be rolling a D6. We're going to do Frank first because he had just a pair of single die cards. So let's see. And he gets, oh man. So he's going to lose one of his single cards. Of course, and he's going to end up getting 2 wounds. Oh man, okay, that really blows because now Frank's only going to have 5 actions on his turn. Let's see if Midnight Pearl can just roll a 1. That would be fantastic. That would mean she won't lose any dice at all. And she rolls a 3, so she's going to randomly lose a card and take 1 wound. Alright, so she takes a wound. That's going to leave her only 1 action remaining after this battle with Krank. And she has to randomly lose 1 of the 3 cards she used, and 2 of them are double cards. So, I don't know, I'll just talk here for a bit. So if she loses a double die card, means she's going to be rolling 3 dice. Frank's going to be rolling 1. But we only need to hit Krank once at a 3+, because yes, we are using Jinx for Midnight Pearl. So that's going to... Krank would have been a 4+ to hit. Now he's back down to a 3+ again. And we're losing... Damn it! We're losing a double card. Losing a double die card for Midnight Pearl. So she loses 2 dice. So basically, where we sit is we have Frank rolling 1 die, Midnight Pearl rolling 3, and we need 1 3+ on any of those 4 dice to eliminate Krank. I'm going to get readjusting the camera. We're going to roll that up and see if we can get rid of Krank. Okay, that was a little nastier than I thought. We're going to do Frank first. I mean, Frank might just take Krank out right here. All he needs is a 3+. And he rolls a 2. So Frank tries his best. Does not defeat Krank. Alright, Midnight Pearl, it's up to you. You have 3 dice. All we need is 1 3+. Come on. And she gets, okay, we get a 1 miss, and we get a 6 and a 3. So we actually hit Krank twice. We only need to hit him 1 time. Bam! He is out of here. We've gotten rid of 3 leaders now. And so let's take a look at Krank and see what we do after defeating him. Pretty sure it's going to tell us right here on the card. Rangers defeat. Well, no, defeat. Conversely, if the Rangers defeat Krank, each Ranger in the combat gains 3 defender cards. Right on. So, and then Midnight Pearl is going to be the Slayer of Krank. Krank's Slayer instills fear into the youthful techies. sending them scattering into their hidey holes. The Slayer simply moving onto the location with any number of techie mobs sends them fleeing, remove them from the board. When Krank is slain, draw 3 defender cards for each ranger involved in the combat, and distribute the cards amongst those rangers. So once again, we get to actually do 6 cards and distribute them any way we want between Frank and Midnight Pearl. And Midnight Pearl then has 1 action remaining after that. Alright, so we get a total of 6 cards off the top of the Defender deck, and we get to distribute them any way we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's a lot of cards. And if we have Midnight Pearl, if we have a cross gun symbol, of course we're giving it to Midnight Pearl. Oh, we don't have any, but we have 3 Bramble cards. And I think what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to give the 3 Bramble cards to Frank. And we're going to give these 3 cards to Midnight Pearl. So, let's take a look here. So, looking at Frank's cards for next time, he's going to have 3, 4, 5. He has 6 dice to roll against Bramble. And looking at Midnight Pearl then, she will have 1, 2, 3 dice. So, we have a total of 9 dice potential rolling against rolling against Bramble if we ever get over there. We do have Midnight Pearl with 1 final action remaining. And for her final action, be nice to get her right over to Bramble. So on Frank's turn, he can actually, we have no kite symbols. Did we have a kite symbol for, no, motorcycle. So anyway, let's see, she can move 3. Does 3 get her to Bramble? It just does not quite get her to Bramble. Darn it, we needed a kite symbol for Midnight Pearl to get her to Bramble. Well, that's not going to happen, I guess. So we're just going to go ahead. It doesn't really matter then. We're just going to take Midnight Pearl for her final action. We're just going to move her over to Auntie's Saloon, where she can then heal her wound that she now has next turn. Alright, I'm going to just slightly readjust the camera here, and we're going to end off Midnight Pearl's turn. Of course, we need to take a look at Hard Times. And this actually switches now. Advanced Stage 4 card when 3 leaders have been slain, and that's exactly what we're doing. Final Assault. So if we look at the Final Assault, player draws 3 Raider cards and 2 Defender cards at the end of each turn. Perform our Raider. Placements on the first and second cards. Move leader on next location on the first card. Draw cards 1 at a time. If Puke is only remaining leader and he moves to any position, players lose. Activate event on the 3rd card only. Wow, lots of details. Alright, readjust the camera and we'll start doing that. Alright, we have 1 leader remaining, Bramble, right here. So we're going to move the leader on the first available card, is what it says for the Final Assault. And yes, we do get 2 Defender cards. I don't want to forget that for Midnight Pearl. End of return, a couple of grenades, of course, grenades for Puke and Krank. We were looking for Bramble cards, didn't get them. Alright, we have 3 Raider cards. We're going to place Raiders on the first 2 cards and move the leader as soon as we can. So Puke moves, that's not happening. Alright, the Pest Hole gets 2 Road Rage Gangs. That is 36. So let's go to 36 and add a couple Road Rage Gangs. Alright, 36 is right here. We're going to get a couple of motorcycle dudes showing up. And like I mentioned before, monstrosities do not cause overruns. So now we have a total of 3 of an oil ammo depot, 3 Road Rage Gangs, a monstrosity, and then we're going to... The Scrapyard is getting 2 Earther War Parties. Let's take a look at that. Well, the Scrapyard is right here, so we've got all kinds of Earther War Parties left in our bucket. The Scrapyard's going to get a couple of them. No overruns, nothing to worry about there. And so we ignore the event. We would move Bramble if this was a Bramble move. Of course, that's not happening. So that was card number 1. Card number 2, we're going to place Raiders as well, and Puke moving again, so not having the Atomic Plant. It's going to get a couple of techie mobs. Not a big deal. We've cleaned out the Atomic Plant before. A couple of Krank dudes show up. Krank, of course, is no more. Next up, we have Demon Tooth South Bridge gets a Road Rage Gang. So let's go ahead and add that in. And I'm suddenly looking at the board, and yeah, this was a mistake. So this was an overrun, and I added a character in here. This shouldn't have happened. That should be an oil and ammo depot, because that would bring our South Pass to an overrun, which reminds me right now we're going to get a Road Rage Gang overrun right here. So that's going to add another oil and ammo depot. Oh, that's just fantastic. And we get an overrun into each location. Oh man, we are so close to losing the game here. Holy mackerel. Okay, so hang on, I got to zoom the camera a little bit. We have a Road Rage Gang overrun right here. Oh man, we are just about going to lose the game because of oil and ammo depots, because we're going to overrun into the pest hole, which is going to cause an oil and ammo depot to show up. We only have 2 oil and ammo depots left. We're going to overrun into One Swell City. That's going to cause an oil and ammo depot to be placed, and an overrun into Shadow Pass. Oh my goodness. Where Bramble is, and a Road Rage Gang overrun into Joey Died here. Holy man, we are not in the best of shape, because we have 1 oil and ammo depot left on the board. If we lose that oil and ammo, or if we have to place that final oil and ammo depot on the board, we're going to lose the game. So yeah, we have 1 leader left, but we are so nastily close now to actually losing it. All right, so again, we're not going to have the leader. Bramble's not moving, and we don't do the event on this card. All right, the third card we draw, we don't place any raiders. And it's the Krank moving. So basically Bramble's not moving at all, and we do the event on the third card. Discard the top card of the adventure deck, moving the adventure, and add a techie mob to that location. No! Oh boy. Alright, so our adventure is moving from Old Mind to the Atomic Plant. Okay. Oh man. Alright, let's move the adventure token to the Atomic Plant and add a techie mob there. Alright. We're going to add the adventure token here and a techie mob, which takes it to 3. Oh my goodness, we are so lucky. If there had been 3 there, we would have got an overrun. We would have placed our final oil and ammo depot on the board and lost the game. All right, we're going to zoom out. We're going to wrap up our episode for today. Oh my god, you can see all the oil and ammo depots on the board. Absolute masses of them. We have 1 left in reserve, which means we add 1 in. Next episode, when we have Frank going, we're going to lose the game. Frank, unfortunately, has 2 wounds, though, so he's only got 5 actions. Let's take a final look at Frank's hand. He's got 4 dice. He's got 6 dice to roll against Bramble. I think we may have to have Frank, next episode, attack Bramble by himself. I wish I could have got Midnight Pearl over there, but she did not have any kite cards at all to do that, so she couldn't have made it over there even with her motorcycle. And yeah, Midnight Pearl sitting at 1 wound. So I think next episode is going to be the finale, because we're going to send Frank over to Bramble and see if Frank can take Bramble out. The Bramble special ability: when you fight Bramble, attacking rangers must roll at least 1 unmodified 6 result, where all hits rolled are blocked and ignored, and we need a 4+ to hit Bramble on 6 dice, and we need a 6. So, ooh, I don't know. She's a tough go. It's a very close game. It's been a very long game. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Defenders of Last Stand. We're playing Lightning of the Ancients. No karma tokens anywhere to be seen. And I think we have to do a do or die run with Frank next time to attack to attack Bramble and see if we can take Bramble. Oh, Bramble's at 2 health. Oh, if we could have only got... If we can delay for 1 more turn, although Midnight Pearl does not have a cross-gun symbol anywhere at all, and I don't think Frank has 2 of them. I don't think... Frank's got 1. He does have 2. Frank's got 2 cross-gun symbols, a puke and a Bramble, and then he could roll 2, 3, 4, 5 dice, only needing 1 hit, but we'd have to roll a 6. I don't know, lots to think about. We'll see you next time. The continuation, Defenders of the Last Stand, Lightning of the Ancients.